My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix Legions, loyal servant to the true Emperor Marcus Aurelius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance.
If you have not read The Will of the Many, you have no idea how perfect that audio is for this book. Second of all, go read it. You need to. I promise you, if you're a fantasy fan, if you liked Gladiator, even if you liked Red Rising, go read The Will of the Many. I took the microphone off my glasses because it fell off and I'm too lazy to put it back for this video. So, what you don't know about me, what you most likely don't know about me, is that I was not a fan of Red Rising at all. But I loved Will of the Many. Now you're probably asking yourself, now Brad, why are you talking about Red Rising when that's not the review you're doing right now? I was told, nay, I was promised that if I didn't like Red Rising, I would like The Will of the Many. And the people who said that were absolutely right. 100%. But this slapped. This was awesome. Put the microphone back. You're welcome. Will of the Many is set in an ancient Roman-inspired world where everybody has access to magic through will. It's like willpower. And it's actually kind of cool. When they use will, their eyes go black. Everybody has will of their own that they cede to others. Those that have the most will are have higher positions within government, and creates a tiered system that they call pyramids, pretty much. And yeah, the person at the top has the most will. The story follows a 17-year-old named Vis. He's an orphan. He works in a prison. The thing about Vis is that he has no intention of ever ceding his will to anyone else. But more than that, he has no intention of ever using will himself. He hasn't gone through any of the rituals that this society, which is called the Khaten Republic, he hasn't gone through any of the rituals to even access his will and use it. Minor spoilers here. Going to give you a second, so if you don't want to, it's not a big spoiler. Okay, I'm not going to give away any trade secrets here, I promise. Quickly learn that Vis is royalty from another nation. A nation that was actually conquered by this new republic, the Roman-inspired republic. And because he's royalty, he's a wanted man. He's been living under the radar. Since he doesn't want to use his will, cede his will, or anything, he lives amongst the peasants. In disguise, incognito. He has his job in the prison, and he also fights on the side in an illegal fight club. The magic system, as you heard, it seems pretty simple. It's deceptively simple, actually. It's a social commentary on both the real world and this world, how those at the top don't have to give as much to those beneath them. What I think I love most about this book and Islington's style, he doesn't info dump on you. He doesn't sit there and explain the world to you. He throws you in and immerses you. You pretty much learn as you go. He doesn't hold your hand. He doesn't coddle you. You won't know what a transvect is until Vis experiences being on a transvect. You don't sit through a lecture on the government or the different nations that the Republic conquered. You learn about them as Vis interacts with people from these other places or through his fellow classmates. And again, not by big info dump that, oh, this place used to be this, and this, and these people were in charge, and this, blah, blah, blah. None of that. I don't want to do too many comparisons to Red Rising, okay? The biggest thing I didn't like about Red Rising was Darrow's characterization. He just was too good at everything, and you had to know it. He had to talk about how good he was at everything. Vis in this book is good at some things. He's smart. He's athletic. But he struggles throughout the entire book. There are constant obstacles in his way. People are actually suspicious of him, whereas I felt like in Red Rising, nobody was suspicious of Darrow at all. Besides being unique in that it's inspired by ancient Rome, the story starts off pretty basic. Nothing stands out at first. But when that first revelation comes in, when you learn who a certain somebody is, it's mind-blowing, and it takes you by surprise, but there are hints there. And Islington weaves those hints in with the interactions of the characters and descriptions. And it takes you by surprise. You look back and you're like, oh, that makes sense. That's why blah, 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 blah. And from then on, it's like a nonstop roller coaster. In my opinion, none of this is predictable. You might be able to say, like, oh, well, it's not going to turn out the way they're saying this, or this person's not who they say they are. Maybe, especially when you get to that ending. Whew, that ending. I'm not okay after the ending for this. And that's not a bad thing. That's actually what I want from a book. It almost takes on a sci-fi nature at the end, and it's not jarring. Again, the way he throws you into this world, the way Islington throws you into the world, it's not jarring at all. It's, oh, that makes sense. And then when it comes to the characters, again, there's like a central mystery to the whole story, and you don't know who you can trust. You are worried that Viz is going to be found out at any moment. Even the people he allies with, you might think he's telling them too much. Stop it, Viz. You worry every chapter who he can and can't trust. 5 stars, 10 out of 10. Would read again. I actually might read this again down the road. I don't know. I don't reread books that often. Actually, ever. I don't think I've ever reread a book. I might with this. I cannot wait for the sequel, The Strength of the Few. So when's that coming? I'll buy the hardback. I need it. I need it. So if you have this on your shelf and you haven't read it, put everything to the side. Get to this. Promise you, you will not be disappointed. If you liked Red Rising, you will love this. If you didn't like Red Rising, you'll love this. 5-star rating by me, if you couldn't tell. Maybe 6.